Our big focus this hour, a day after exit polls declare that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely en route to a third term. He held a review meeting on a 100-day program that his team will seek to implement once government formation is completed. Senior bureaucrats of the Government of India attended the review meeting for these plans on the 2nd of June. Earlier, PM Modi had conveyed his plans many times for his third term of government. PM has emphasized that Modi 3.0 will put all its might to strengthen the foundation of Viksit Bharat. The Prime Minister has also assured that during his third term, India will become the third largest economy. Joining us at this point is Dr. PSV Rao, Consultant Surgeon, Manipal Hospital, Hebbal, Bengaluru. We also have Professor Madhav Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian, joining us live. Jayajit Bhattacharya, President, Centre for Digital Economy Policy Research, is live with us. Dr. Sharat Kohli, Senior Economist, also joins the broadcast. Professor Nalapat, let me begin with you first. Confidence of the Prime Minister, chairing a meeting, already forward planning by PM Modi, soon after reaching back Delhi after his meditation. What explains this confidence of the Prime Minister? Is it the exit poll predictions? Is it his faith in the countrymen of the country? Is it his confidence on the development work done by him? Or is it his faith in the collapse of the opposition? What explains the confidence, A, Professor Nalapat? And B, what do you believe will be the focus of Modi 3.0 if he is re-elected tomorrow?
Well, I'd like to say that exit polls have generally been a very accurate indicator of what the actual election results demonstrate. So I think there's ample reason for the confidence that Prime Minister Modi has that he will get an unprecedented third term. This has never happened before, but I mean, certainly never to somebody outside. In fact, I think Jawaharlal Nehru, if I remember. But it's never happened before, and that confidence is fully justified. Now, obviously, he would have got off to a flying start. My information is that planning for this has been going on for quite some time, because Prime Minister Modi is aware of the hard work that he has put in, and he is aware of the reactions of the public to that hard work. He has seen that in the innumerable meetings he has had across the country. So I think he was fairly confident all along that he would coast to a comfortable majority, and he's expressing that confidence in public several times. That confidence has now been justified by the exit polls, and almost certainly is going to be justified by tomorrow's actual voting numbers. So that being the case, I don't see any kind of an issue in going through with this kind of an effort to ensure that he starts off with a flying start. You know, he gets off to a flying start on this unprecedented third term in office.
All right. Sharat Kohli, come in here on your interpretation of the secret of Narendra Modi's confidence chairing this meeting, and also what do you believe is going to be top of agenda of Modi 3.0 if it were to come back tomorrow?
Yeah. Good evening, Uday. Good evening to my fellow panelists and the dear NewsX viewers. I think Prime Minister's confidence is very calendar-based. I have a very different viewpoint, because he categorically said, "I don't believe in exit polls." I mean, when I say I don't believe in exit polls, I mean he doesn't wait for exit polls. I think he knows the pulse of people and the number of rallies he has done. I mean, the kind of travel he's done across the country. He knows what people want. He connects with people and every segment of people, not just OBCs, not just poor people, with the elite class, with the rich class, with the businessmen, with the salaried, with the middle class, with the lower middle class, with the poor, with the farmers. Name a segment, with the women. Name a segment, and he connects. So a person who can connect and knows the pulse of the nation. What does the nation now want? What do people want from him? I think such a person, if you ask me, I think the exit polls, Uday, are for you and me and for the people of the country. The Prime Minister, I remember listening to one of his interviews, I think on your channel itself, that he doesn't need to wait for exit polls. He knows. So I think his confidence is his meeting with the bureaucrats, his meetings on these issues are more based on calendar rather than the outcome of exit polls. He always knew this is going to happen. Obviously, the numbers will be revealed tomorrow. There could be 10 or 20 seats here or 20, 30 seats here and there, which really, really doesn't matter. But I think his vision when he said that this is just a trailer. What you are seeing right now with India shining across the world, growing at more than 8%, heading for being the third largest, heading for being a developed country for that matter. I think this is just a trailer. So I think he's very clear in his vision, and I'm glad that he's a man in hurry. He did not waste a single day. And you said, what brought this confidence? So a combination of everything. I will add to the list you said, Uday. You spoke of opposition's fear. You spoke of the campaigning he did. I would also like to, I think this is the power of meditation also, which rejuvenates you. It recharges you. It's like a phone battery running out, and you suddenly put it on charge, and in 1 hour or half an hour, the phone is full and ready to, rear again. So I think his vision is very clear. He's in a hurry. He doesn't want to waste a single day, single month, single week to make sure that this country continues on the path of progress. No opposition, no comments, no abuses, no swear words which were used on him. They are going to come in the way of what he is doing. This is the biggest quality of Prime Minister I like. He ignores, he capitalizes on them, on whatever criticism it is showered on them. I was talking to my friend. My friend got abused by somebody for some reason. I think he got criticized by somebody in a company. And he was telling me he felt bad for 2 days. I said, do you know how many times our Prime Minister gets brickbats, abuses and swear words? I said, you should learn from him. If he starts noticing them, takes it to it hard, then probably he'll not be able to go back to work the next day. So I think that is, he inspires every single person of the country. And I think as far as the vision document is concerned, Uday, I'm very clear. He would like to take, I would say this is work in progress right now. When you say work in progress, skills of people of India have to be developed. The manufacturing sector has to be propped up further. The startups need to be pumped up further. Employment generation measures like infrastructure spending has to be taken to the next level. I think he will continue with the infrastructure because that is one single thing which will take this country to being a developed country faster than we all can imagine. He has to address to farmers. He has to address to women. He has to address to youth. All the work which was going on till now, there's a long, long list of work. I'm sure your half an hour capsule cannot cover this. I'll allow Dr. Jaydeep is also in the waiting. I think he's got a long list which is going on, which is counting on his mind. And he will call these meetings one after the other. His 17, 18, 19-hour work routine now is going to be taken up by rest of the ministers and the bureaucrats. They should be prepared to work hard. Just one more thing, Uday, before I hand over to Dr. Jaydeep, that is that this time I'm very sure he is going to hit on corruption in the lower rung of the administration. Prime Minister Modi, his team is very clear, crystal clear and honest. But somewhere down the line, you still hear noises of corruption coming from here and there. And I'm very confident he's going to crack down. So all those people who are involved in corruption at any level, this is a heads up for them. Be prepared. Your days of corruption are numbered. Over to you, Uday.
Jaydeep Bharat, come in here on your analysis of the PM's confidence, where it stems from, and also what do you believe is on the agenda? Modi 3.0 could be a reality tomorrow. It could not. The exit polls predict that it will be a reality. What then is going to be on the agenda? What are your expectations for the action plan of the Narendra Modi government were it to come to power again tomorrow?
I think Dr. Kohli kind of summarized a lot of the things that are expected to happen in the first 100 days. But if I look at it from a framework perspective, there will be a significant push in growing the economy. And therefore, will be a continuity in policies, which is badly needed for growing the economy. So we are at a cusp where we'll have a hockey stick growth if the policies continue, if the directional elements continue. And I strongly believe that that's what will happen if the Modi government comes back tomorrow. And again, the if component is kind of taken care of by the exit polls. It seems that he will be coming back and his government will be coming back. So there will be continuity in the economic side of things. Also, the second part of the structure is taking care of the vulnerable sections. When the economy grows, there will be many, many people who are vulnerable and might fall off in terms of the growth that the rest of the country will experience. And therefore, there will be a targeted focus on ensuring that the vulnerable sections of the society are supported for. And hence, there will be a saturation of all kinds of projects. So saturation in terms of connectivity, in terms of food distribution, in terms of cheap medicines, cheap food, and so on and so forth, so that the vulnerable sections are taken care of. The third part of the pillar, which I would put it as a pillar, is getting pride back in the country. A lot has happened in the last 10 years where we now see the youth of the country being proud of being Indians, which was not the case 10, 15 years back. Now we see the case where Indians are proud, Indians are winning in sports, Indians are winning in many other areas. And I believe that focus will continue. There will be a strong focus on sports and medals to be won in the international arena, which will put pride back into the country. Now, coming back to the question that you really asked is what is my wish list? I wish there are two more things that the incoming government focuses on. One is climate change. So as we speak about the cooked gas, the piped gas to everybody, I also hope that there is focus on providing or having a water grid for the entire country for irrigation and so on, and it happens at a Modi scale, which is transnational in that sense. And within that, there is also focus on more food storage being put into place because we might see a shortage of rains for not just 1 year, 2 year, but consecutive 3, 4 years. And therefore, instead of storing grains for only 2 years of consumption, we should probably relook at the policy and extend it for 4 to 5 years. And that way, just like we have a strategic petroleum reserve, we should also have a strategic grain reserves so that we can feed our population, which also links us to the kind of science and technology that we should be focusing on. Besides solving the problems that the rest of the world is looking at, we should also solve problems related to food emanating from the climate change issues. And therefore, being able to create food in factories is something that will be very critical. So the same focus that we're putting on quantum computing and in other such technologies, we should focus on producing food in a factory away from the farm, because a farm-based food might become very, very dicey given the climate change happening. Point number 2 is pollution. In the entire elections, that was not an issue. None of the political parties picked it up as an issue. The voters did not pick it up as an issue. But all of us are facing pollution at an extreme level. And I hope that is part of the plan that Modi 3.0 brings in. Besides everything else that he has already put in and your channel is showing up in the screen, all of those are great things to do and will happen and will propel this country forward. But along with this, climate change and pollution are two issues that I wish there is focus on, and that the budget that should be coming in by July also puts focus on these matters.
All right, let's quickly bring in Dr. PSV Rao as well for his take. Dr. PSV Rao, what are your expectations from a possible Modi 3.0 government? What do you believe will be top priorities in this action plan ahead? Dr. Rao, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having trouble there with this connection, unfortunately. Professor Nalapat, come in here. Because, there are going to be a lot of expectations if it is indeed a comeback for Narendra Modi once again for a historic third term, as you put it earlier. If then he does come back, there will be a need to deliver as well. What do you believe then will be part of the 100-day action plan? What do you believe will be part of his government's priorities for the next 5 years if he is re-elected?
Well, one thing I'll tell you, Uday, is that technology can be much more effective than the police in fighting corruption. Prime Minister Modi has already done a lot. Now, in digital India, digital interfaces, he has made sure that there is almost no interface between an official and an individual needing a service. If you get it digitally, then you're getting it through a completely transparent mechanism. So I do firmly believe that, first of all, through greater digitalization and through the use of modern technology, corruption will be reduced and the scope for misuse of authority by human beings, officials or not, whatever, or politicians, will get reduced. There's no question that that's going to happen.
Dr. Rao, I'll request you to mute yourself. Your audio is spilling over. Dr. Rao, please mute yourself. Thank you. Yes, Professor Nalapat, can our producers please listen and mute him? Yes, Professor Nalapat, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to say that, in my opinion, he's going to go ahead with a tax regime that is going to have lower rates and much greater compliance. Even today, direct taxes are not paid by, I would say, 3/4 of the population that could pay them. mainly because of the question of rates being high. At the same time, where GST is concerned, the rates of GST have all been blamed on central government, when the fact is that the GST Council, the state governments, including many led by opposition parties, have had a very big say, and they are resisting any kind of reform, including lowering of GST taxes. So I think the Prime Minister is going to go forward with lower taxes, greater compliance, lower GST rates, much greater collections, and altogether going to make it people friendly, taxpayer friendly, and service oriented. So I believe that it's going to be that kind of an outcome because, as I said, ultimately, I'd like to say what counts is delivery. He has come to power in 2014 because of the delivery he did in Gujarat. He came to power in 2019, the delivery he did from 2014. And again, he has come to power in 2024 because of the good things he has done since 2014 and the expectation of many more good things to come. Prime Minister Modi is a tireless individual. He is absolutely fixed on doing his job by the people. He has no other work, no question of any family or other issues to basically divert him. And that is what he's going to spend time on. I believe it's going to be a people-friendly administration, much more than before. And what Dr. Kohli was touching on, where the lowest levels of administration will be taught to be people-friendly rather than obey the colonial pattern of seeing the people as people you can dominate and boss over. As Prime Minister Modi said in the beginning, minimum governance, maximum government. And then he's going to have a regime of taxes, which is now, I must say I'm amazed. He did not reduce any income taxes or other taxes during the last budget before the election. Why? Because he was confident the people of India will understand why he is going with higher taxes now. And he's doing it because he wants to create a climate for lower taxes in the future. I'm certain we are going to see that. I'm certain we are going to see a lot of radical reforms in the industrial sector, in the farm sector, in the health, in the housing sectors, and education sectors. In all this, you're going to see Modi 3.0 is going to be completely different from any other government India has seen since 1947. And I do believe the golden age of the country will dawn during Modi 3.0.
Absolutely. Okay, let me get in Dr. PSV Rao as well. I believe he's back with us now. Dr. Rao, if you're able to hear me, I was trying to ask you on your expectations from a possible Modi 3.0 if he is re-elected tomorrow. What do you believe will be top of priority of the action plan ahead? The PM already chairing meetings on the 100-day government plan ahead if he is re-elected. What do you believe is going to be on the agenda?
Good evening to all the panelists and viewers and to the... Yes, he has already said earlier that it is not 2024, I am planning for 2047. So he has got a long-term plan, a medium-term plan and a short-term plan. This 100 days meetings are about the short-term plan. He started with managing the immediate disasters like the cyclone hit people, the heat stroke, etc. So he is focused on that at the earliest because those are urgent needs of the people, and there are many those election personnel who have died in the heat stroke. So this is something is high priority. And other than that, as far as health and education is concerned, you would know that this is summer season is when the next the college and school terms begin. So he would be also focused on how to improve the educational system, how to add skill training and make it more practical. One point as I can say about our medical training is, and all over in US, UK, and many of the Commonwealth countries, the higher education is by the industry. It is not by the university. And I think this is something which brings out people who are practically oriented. when we have higher education in the hands of university, often what happens is people come out with theoretical knowledge rather than the practical knowledge. And this is why hospitals, pharmaceuticals, and so many of them in the health industry, and I'm sure in the other industries, are complaining that the people who come out are not employable. So I think that is something he has to do quickly, because the next season of placements in colleges and schools will start off. Plus, he's been massively expanding the education system so that people don't need to go to Ukraine and to Russia and China and all over the place for education. They can have it here. As you see, problems are coming up in Canada and US also for Indian students. So this is as far as education is concerned. As far as drugs and pharmaceuticals and health is concerned, he's already brought in the PLI for some of the basic drugs in which China had displaced and closed many of our industries. So that is good. The medical colleges have been, a large number of colleges have been opened. Their courses will also start now. So I think these are all part of what he will be doing on the immediate 100 days. As to the long term, definitely I would expect him to look into the agricultural woes and improve the cold storage system, the transport, and also into the farm laws which got blocked and he had to withdraw at that time. And the labor reforms and the land reforms, these are all pending. And I hope he has enough strength in the Rajya Sabha to get these things sorted out.
All right, let's leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion.